I already downloaded the images off of Google Classroom, and I have them here on my desktop. So I'm gonna open the image file up, then I am gonna cut out some of these images, the ones that need to be cut out. Since I'm using this layout, the two characters are going to get cut out, and I think I'm going to cut out the skull. I'm pretty sure that is what I need for now, so that's what I'm going to start doing. So I'm going to use the pen tool, zoom in here. This is pretty grainy and grungy image, so I'm going to try to create some sort of selection here, and if you start off and you see that your selection is a shape like this, what you want to do is go up here and change it to path. I would go to layers and just drag the shape layer to the trash. Make sure you're in path. It shouldn't create a new layer. You see that it's not a new layer. It's gonna create your working path under the paths palette. So you'll go around, start selecting some of the image here. You can see here that I'm selecting a little bit inside of the shape. You can see this is Photoshop too. Doesn't have that same grunge look, whoever created this image. Alright, so once your image is selected, I'm going to make sure I save it. You can save it as a JPEG. It'll keep your path selection here. So you're going to go over to paths. What I want to do is start pasting in some of my selections into my document. So when I create my document size, I'm going to look at my assignment sheet, and I want to go to the specifications where you see the size. I'm going to go and create a new file, and I'm going to name it first. So it should be named last name underscore first name underscore school will be DCTS. Then you're going to go underscore and then grade. So that should be it. And when you save it, it'll add .pdf. So you don't need to have .pdf there. So then you're going to go to inches. The inches should be 21.75. You have it here by 29. 72 is web. We're going to go for print. Print is 300 dots per inch. Usually for print you would go CMYK, but I'm going to keep RGB here for now. Just go RGB. There's certain functions that if I want to use, that becomes unavailable when you go to CMYK. You would go to CMYK if you're about to print. So let's hit OK. Now I'm going to go back to my selection here. I'm going to command click on the work path, or else I can drag it right to this selection here and it'll make that selection. So once you do that, you could go to edit, copy, go back to your document, then you could go to edit, paste. So you have your guy in here. Once I have him in here, usually what I do is I right click on the layer and I convert it to smart object, because I don't want to do any more editing to it where I can't go back and fix it. So the layers seem to get a little confusing after a while. So what I want you to get into the habit of doing is naming your layers. So you're going to go over to layer 1 and rename it clown. My mouse is disconnecting here. Alright, so now that I have that one finished, I kind of could close this. So my clown layer will be over here on the left. Then I have this warrior guy. I'll do the same. Command click on the layer. I am doing Command C for copy. The quick key is Command C for copy, and then Command V for paste. So I have him in there. I'm going to right click on the layer and convert it to smart object. Then I'm going to call him the warrior. So now I have both of my guys in here. So maybe I guess I'll cut out the skull next. Since I don't want to include any of the shirt area, I'm just selecting the arms and the skull. That's the only parts of this that I would like to include. You guys are working on this. You guys really got to get in here and get the details. You have a full week to do this, and I don't want to see you just clicking around like this. I need to see that you're using the curves. Alright, so now that I have my skull, I'm going to copy, paste that in here. Name it, convert it to smart object. And since this is in the background, usually I wouldn't say to enlarge anything, but I kind of want the background layer or the skull layer to be a little bit blurry. So I am going to use free transform, which is edit and free transform here. And you're going to click on a corner and you use option to resize. You see that, like, I can skew it. I don't want to see that. So you're going to hold down shift. Make sure it's constrained to the proportion. Even if you want to go darker, this is a blue. It's like a dark blue. So maybe I want to just keep it that color, so it kind of fades into the background. You see how this is a different dark. It's lighter than that blue. So the value of this dark in here is lighter. I'm going to match it later. But right now, this should be good. So I'm going to take this one here and start creating the border. We can double click on the right side of your layer, and then we can add a drop shadow to it. So if we zoom in here, we can see a little drop shadow. I think if we darken it, and then we want the distance, and the spread should be up, but I think the size should be down. Maybe the spread can go down a little bit, and the opacity a little lighter so it looks realistic. If you zoom in there, you can see a little bit of shadow. Maybe we want more. Maybe the take out global light. Maybe we'll put the shadow, maybe it needs more distance. That looks better. Alright, so once that's set, we can right click on it, and then we can copy layer style and add it to all of these. So we paste layer style. So now all of these have that same shadow. I would go up to select color range and to select some of the color range in here, and I'm just going to copy and paste it into my background. Then I'm going to give it a little bit of color because it looks really gray in here, and my background is more of a darker blue. So I'm going to press Command U, or you can go to Image Adjustments, and you can go into Hue Saturation here, and you can mess around with the color a little bit. So I want to go to I'm going to add a layer mask, and I'm going to use my brush. So I switched over to brush here. I did it with the quick key, which is B. And then I want to just brush out. You can see I'm on this layer. So this is your working layer, and this is your mask. I want to make sure my opacity is at 100 because I want to take away this part in here, make it look like it's ground. Make it monochromatic. Command U, or just go in here and go to hue and saturation and colorize it. I want to make sure that it's that. So you could see the idea that I'm getting at here. I'm going to work on finishing this up. I just don't want to have you guys watch me do it, even though I think it's going to help you.